So my name is Enric Prats. I am a PhD student for the German Aerospace Center. And I work at the Institute of Future Fuels on the production of sustainable fuels. So I think, luckily, in the last decades, climate change has been not such a strange thing in our lives. That means that I think I'm quite sure when I was in school, we received the very first ideas on, which is something very basic, but just recycling waste. And I would say at that moment I was probably, I would say somewhere between 6 and 8 maybe years old. And I think that's my first memory of the importance of recycling, this idea of reduction and reuse and recycling and so on, which is still, once again, quite basic from today's standards. But yeah, I think that was, to me, something new, and I wanted to explain that at home. And funny thing, it was something new at home. I like to think that with my task as a PhD student in this exact area, I'm doing some impact. That's, I think, what all scientists or people that try to be scientists like me want to believe and want to do. That's the main motivation, mostly. So that's one thing. That's what the main efforts, at least 8 hours a day, I try to do this. Then personally, I try to make more aware decisions. This doesn't make that everything I choose is well chosen. I think there is a lot of incoherences in our lives, but when you get the information, at least even if you choose wrong, you can be aware that you have been chosen wrong. So there, I try to be a responsible consumer, but once again, with all the incoherences that normally brings. We sometimes talk about saving the planet, saving the earth, that we are damaging nature and so on and so on. And that kind of gives us an idea that we are above that we are above the planet, we are above the earth. And I think it's really inaccurate because it makes feel earth weak. And that's not the case. Like the weakest part of this chain is actually human life. We need to understand that we are a very specific species. We evolve very slowly. Any minor change in our environment will probably kill most of us, if not all of us. That means, and I think this is something we really need to understand, that anything we are doing to save the climate is actually something that we're doing to save ourselves. I think it's deceiving ourselves thinking we're doing this to save biological diversity, we're doing this to save nice forests. That's true, but at the end of the day, that's mostly for saving us.